alive, rebuking. I just, we actually just finished the portion. That is an interesting comment. If you all can see that, that is a very interesting. I'm gonna change the tone real quick. Alright. I'm gonna change the tone real quick, and I want to go into something real quick where Yeshua ben Israel, I, Yeshua ben Israel said, "Give me book chapter verse where it says you can't." Okay. Oh, you know what? And this is Yahweh all day. All right. So first, let me get back to this. We say Yabra coming out, but she must show y'all. So here, let me show y'all this camera. All right. So let me say Yabra coming out, but she must show y'all. I'm going to start off by saying we did our focus. I had a All right. So Yabra coming out, but she must show y'all. All right. If you can hear me well, put a 7 in the room. We're going to play around a little bit. And we're going to do, let me see if I can get my brother with me. Genesis God now. Or uh, Kofi San, Shai, Shaki, hey, Shalom, now y'all Shalom, I'm trying to keep it going, and we have a ministry with us, man. This is this helping, but I'm trying to flow like this. So you've done it, you see, watch my thing. So I'm going to so, name is just everybody knows now. Everybody knows. Spoke to you today. You have a good reputation. Okay? You have an excellent video. If anybody would like to go back on any other watch one videos, so that and the reason being is because they come from the old school. You know, the sisters come from the old school. Within their teachings, they learned a lot of doctrines that a lot of young women in the truth don't know now, and a lot of old women in the truth act like they forgot about. That should be better. All right, that should be better. All right, so put a 7 in wrong. That's better. Appreciate that. Oh, can hear you better. You spoke closer to the mic. Oh, 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 okay. Okay. Could hear me better when I spoke closer to the mic. That's huge. All right. So if I position the mic, that's even helpful because when I record, you know, when I record, I'm gonna want it to sound right. All right. So if I do it like that, and can I turn the fan back on? I get hot by 7. Okay. All right. All praise. That's what's needed. All right. So I'm not gonna need much of my screen. I don't think I am, but I am gonna be screen sharing. So let's go be nosy. Let's go snoop through Isaiah Yashara's Facebook. All right. Let's go snoop through Isaiah Yashara's Facebook. All right. Let me close that. Let me close that. And here, this is something I was talking about earlier. Wow, I greatly appreciate it. All right, so this is something I'm going to uh, bring up. So it's kind of on a hot seat. All right, I'm kind of on a hot seat. All right, so let's look at this. Salute to Yeshua ben Israel. So, so Yeshua ben Israel said, "Give me book, chapter, verse where it says, join a camp under a general or some bishop." Okay, so does everybody remember we were talking about and we were going over the Torah earlier? All right. We were talking about we were going over the Torah earlier through the process of. Let me just go ahead. I don't want no light interruption. It might just be better with this lighting. All right. So we were going over leadership earlier in Israel, and let me go ahead and see if I can. Can I do that? Can I tag? Maybe can I send this video? You know what? Maybe I can do that. I can send this video to Yeshua ben Israel, right? Okay, so we just copied the link, and I'm going to go back to Yeshua ben Israel. All right, Shalom, Yeshua ben Israel. Let's go to message. Let's go to Yeshua ben. Okay, all praise. Me and Yeshua ben Israel been chopping it. All right, that's beautiful. Let me do this. All right, Yeshua ben Israel. Okay, I appreciate your feedback much. Yep. Okay, fam, bro. I do stuff to entertain us. Okay, all right. Well, let's build. All right, so let's do this real quick. All right, I'm gonna send this to Yeshua ben Israel. Let's see. I'm gonna leave that at that, I guess, now. Hey, see, hey, fam. I hope you get this message. If you can get on this live stream, get with me, man. I'm gonna look at that question that you proposed pertaining to camps in Israel, etc. All right, get at me. Yabaraka Yabashim Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Peaceful stuff. All right, and there's that invitation. So I pray that that goes through. All right, and you all could see that hopefully. So let's take a step back, and the question is great. All right, it's a great proposition. It's give me book, chapter, verse where it says join the camp under a general or some bishop. All right, now I don't know how to answer his question. Maybe I'm not doing great. I said judges, officers, and elders. Come on, bro. Right? So boom, he hit me with the homie face. You know what I'm saying? So somebody hit me with the that's what's up face. I said camp. That's a nation, not the same. But hold on, wait a minute, my bro. Wait a minute. Let's deal with this real quick. Hold on? Let me tilt this up. All right. Did your question get answered? Maybe some to a sense, maybe no. Now, what do you think about that, Kanaya Wakanawan? All right, what do you think about that, Kanaya Wakanawan? He says, give me book, chapter, verse where it says, join a camp under a general or some bishop. Now. I think some people ask questions to learn. Some people ask questions to edify. You know, y'all know me. I say some off the wall stuff. I'll be like, hey, my wife left me because I peed in the sink. And then I will show a whole, after like I get my comments and all that stuff. And I ain't even monetized. That's crazy. Would somebody like to monetize me? Would anybody like in the family like to get shekels or paid off of their Audubon just speaking? Wouldn't that be cool? No business on the Sabbath. All right. No business on the Sabbath. So I understand where the homie coming from. So, and it wasn't an aggressive or hard thing, but give it to me. All right, cool. So let's deal with it piece by piece. Give me book, chapter, verse where it said join the camp. First of all, I'm like, camp? You already a part of a camp. This is why I couldn't do the so-called guerrilla Hebrew. Hey, share this out if you're watching. Also, make sure you subscribe. All right. Make sure you tell the friends and family to subscribe too. All right. When you share it out, make sure you tell friends and family to subscribe, thumbs up, like it. Say it the way y'all say it. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. So that's why I couldn't really do the whole guerrilla Hebrew. Why am I no longer Hebrew? It's like, yeah, you get clicks, likes, views, all that stuff. But let's be real, you're hurting the nation. You're not being a caliph. You're not being a defender of our nation. You're not being a defender of our people. You're teaching them cowardiceness. You're teaching our women cowardiceness. Our men, why I'm no longer a Hebrew Israelite. Now, I understand if you're saying it by the context of, if you're saying it, what time? remember, family, we want to try to do all of our buying, selling, sundown. We have one of our babies right now that has a rash, a diaper rash, I believe. So we have, we can make a paste. So take the, let's see, take the cornstarch, mix it with a little bit of water, and make it pasty, and then put it on a diaper rash. Have you all ever heard of that? Yeah, we got a whole thing of cornstarch. So, and I got that from one of the Almas Aquanium. If you got cornstarch, just put some mayam in it. It'll help cool. It'll help soothe. Right? I know, right? Things that we learned from our Amium. All praise. So now, if you have an emergency, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to teach anybody to put anybody's life or anything like that at risk. You know, take care of yourselves, take care of others. You know, above all, the Torah behold, let's come over here real quick. I want to see what this is. This is 25 minutes, 24 minutes. I'm not going to watch all this. We warned you about these lusting Israelites will sell you anything for a dollar. I don't know why, but the Most High put it on my spirit to watch this video as a peer review. I do know some of the context of visual, but I don't know all of it. But while it was coming up, it was the thoughts. Some of the thoughts were, okay, well, we shouldn't teach our people fear, okay? And the other thought was, you know, all right. So, yeah, so luckily I had to send out a message. Man, salute, man. I don't know what this video is about, but so far I see one of our brothers, Deacon Hakad, and I remember when I first seen this video, I was like, that's an awesome video. Beautiful. I was like, oh man, that's fire. Matter of fact, I was like, oh, that's next level, man. I was like, all praise. And then I got an invitation to get on the track with them, and I don't know what happened after that. But I don't know what this video is about. I haven't unmuted it, but so far it looks like beautiful promotion of what the brothers are doing. All right. So I know the scripture says, hold on, wait a minute. Do you want to defend the gospel, prove all things? Do you want to be able to give an answer for all questions? Any camps can enroll. Women are welcome. That sounds like a beautiful invitation. I'm not mad about that. See, I haven't unmuted this because I haven't heard it. So if I hear it, then I'll hear the perspective of whoever produced this video. All right, but I did see the title says, we warned you about these hustling Israelites who will sell you anything for $1. Not now. Sounds like they're trying to come against brothers, and I don't know who produced this video. It just came across my Jones. I push play, I push mute. I try to be fair and just and everything. I don't have a problem with. I don't have whatever issue these brothers may have with another brother. The script says that Leviticus chapter 19, stand not against the blood of thy neighbor. All right, so to not stand against the blood of your neighbor. So I want to be careful, be mindful. There we go. All praise Yahweh. Shalom, saint.
Shalom, Mark. I'm here. I came.
Amen. At the water for doing so. So I don't know if you participate or believe in keeping the 7th day of the Shabbat, but me and my family do. So I'll say Shabbat Shalom to you and your family. And to all
oh no, man. Yeah, today's my Shabbat. Is a day of rest. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful day. And that it is, brother. So what's going on?
Well, prayers going up for you and your family. Can I be heard well?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, prayers going up for you and your family on this Shabbat day. Also, I'm a petition, if you all can, send some palalium up for mine. I just found out that one of our princesses, she's new, she's 1 year old, so she has a a young lady's diaper issue, and one of the mothers just found out. I knew she was trying to my Shara, her name is Soraya. She was trying to tell me something. I was like, I just changed your diaper, and I didn't understand. But one of the mothers just let us know she has a young lady's rash. So prayers going up for the babies or princesses and the women and the men. Thank you for everybody for just being a family. I appreciate you, and thank you for joining.
No problem.
All praise, all praise. So let's get to this real quick, if you don't mind. So you brought up
Oh
a
yeah.
dope topic, man. And when I first seen it, now I'm not argumentative. I think I'm funny in my own head. But when it gets to the Torah, I do like to have that Phineas mentality of, okay, the Most High said yay is yay, if it's nay is nay. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it. I get you.
Amen, amen, and thank you for being such, Saint. Thank you for being such, Saint. So I like to be jovial, and then when it comes to La Torah, when it comes to the Torah, because anytime we speak Hebrew, everybody, we should also always translate. And fam, make sure you put up your information, Yeshua ben Israel, man. Make sure you should put up your information so people can contact you: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. If you want to do your phone number, if you want to, if you want to co-sign for a car for me, any of those things, just put
Oh
that
no,
information.
sir. Sir, I live in California.
Hey man, never too far.
So no, my pockets is the California tapped. You know what I'm saying?
If you
No,
don't
sir.
put up your
No, no.
information and introduce yourself, I'm going to yield the floor. I yield the floor.
Yo, everybody, I am Joshua ben Israel the fourth. I mean the fourth because I'm a fourth generation of the Atlantic slave trade. I'm of the clan of the House of Damona. I'm a Judean, and I'm here to talk about a controversial topic that I thought was, pretty normal. The chart is fake. All 12 tribes are black only. This should not be something that's controversial to our people. When the Most High said the whole world had a hand in our captivity, and let the Most High be true and every man be a liar. So that's where we at. Did you hear me?
Absolutely, absolutely. And big salute, Lakal Hamashpacha of the village of Shalom. So big salute to all of the family that's been there, who actually had that faith and who operated and who grew up in an environment to where we had Moses after Moses, and we had
Yeah.
saviors before. Uh, I subscribe to the great King Hamashiach. So just allow us to speak in love, and everybody will build together. So we had saviors in small forms until the great Shiloh comes. So I want to give a salute to all of the Mashpachayim who not only and pray for the families that's still in Damona, that was raised in, that know the intricacies. All right, because no matter if we're born in Babylon or if we're raised in Damona, we're still the children of Israel who have the curses on us, which come from up and down, our parents, fathers, no matter they follow us no matter where we go. At the same time, big peace and blessings to all the Mashpachayim that are there. You know what I'm saying? So salute to you, fam. All right, salute. All right, so Tawada Yahweh for you. I want how long y'all. If y'all watching, make sure y'all share out. Do you want to give anybody information on your Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook?
You can find me on all of my social media links under the same name, under the same title. It's all the same, and I'm a little bit of an introvert, so we Hebrews, we tend to be set apart, and the older we get, the more introverted we become. So if y'all want to follow me, cool. If not, I understand. I'm okay with it. So just me being an old Hebrew, I guess.
Oh yeah, oh, I seen this Edomite the other day. I believe Europeans, Caucasians are descendants of Esau, and I'm okay with that. And they have Arabic and other Japhetic, Esau's mingled, but according to prophecy, they have a lot of similarities that have to do with what the Bible said Esau's lineage would do in the future. Not skin color, but dominion and their operations.
Oh yeah, they act the way they said they act the way when Esau was blessed, they act the way his blessing said they would act. They would rule by the sword, and that's all they've done. but acted by the sword. You know what I mean? So they've contributed nothing to the global society that was positive but the sword. So I believe the same way you believe.
Amen. So, yeah, Con, man, throw water for that. Threw me for a loop. Where was we, brother? You threw me for a loop, man.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to agree with you so much. We're supposed to be debating. My bad.
all praise, all we are, and this is a joyous occasion. So, what was the subject right before then? So, Adawan, Esau, woo. All right. So, case in being point as such. All right. Let's move forward. All right. By petition the Holy Spirit, bring it back. All right. How Ruach Hadash bring all things back to memories. All right. So, real quick, dealing with the subject of camps. All right. I said something to your comment, to your post, and I'm going to start a screen share. We're already up on screen share, and I sent the link to you. Right now, we're live on Isaiah Yasharala YouTube, and I would love it if you would minister with us more, agree, disagree, give the people the opportunity to hear both sides. What's wrong with them? So I don't agree that I don't think it's okay that our current elders and our past elders have had such a staunch stance on it has to be 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. And I come on the scene for Yahweh putting me to wherever he places us, Yahuwah placing us, Haye, saying Yeshua, however you pronounce it, Jehovah, for all my Rastafarian brothers, Jah. Wherever he puts me and he shows me, say the subject of new moon, say the topic of new moon. Our Zaquanium forces for one to say it has to be waxing crescent or it has to be closed light, or also known as inferior conjunction. But when we look at the narrative of King David, it's true that he knew that there was a time frame. And when King Saul had that feast lasted for 2 days. And on that third day, David was, boom. The narrative tells us that he was at the priest house. So my point of saying the Levites tabernacle, my point of saying such is to say, when I learn about something, I don't take just one side and say it's my way or the highway. I literally do try to learn and say it's possible for me to be wrong. I don't know everything. And maybe it is waxing crescent. And I find out that the ending phase of inferior conjunction is a small sliver so thin that you can barely see, which is known as the waxing crescent. So I believe that King David, and just like we should have the mentality of being able to perceive both sides, have respectable disagreements, roar like lions. One of the elders said, sometimes you just got to put them on the table and see what happens. So, saying, so I appreciate you building out and let's get at this. And I'm so glad you brought out those points. 12 tribes chart is false. What else we got?
Negroes. Yeah, I'm gonna mute up because I'm going to my car so it can have a little less noise. So I'm gonna mute up for a second.
No worries. You come in whenever you're ready. I'm gonna go over a few topics, a few things, subjects, whatever, and then just whenever you're ready, unmute and come directly in. If you're watching, press that send button, like, subscribe, share, all those good things. I got 5 friends on YouTube and I don't know, like some thousand on Facebook. I don't know all my Facebook friends on YouTube. It makes no sense. I don't even monetize. All right, do this for free. We do this for show, not for showing off. We do this for show. So let's look at this real quick. All right, so this is all right, I'm gonna get off of this. All right, I don't think this is going anywhere I want to go in the direction of right now. So let's go back to our beloved brother's comment. All right, so we're over here. Yeshua ben Yasharallah, double honors to your father, double honors to your mother. All right, so the brother says, give me book, chapter, verse where it says, join a camp under a general or some bishop. And I say to myself, I say, I just, you see the emoji, Jones? I say, okay. I think I was on a slave ship. Like I was rowing the slave ship, like super slow. And I'm looking at the supervisor. He's like, we got to get there fast. I'm like, I know we're going to get there fast. As soon as I finish this post. So I'm looking at the post, I'm looking at the comment, and I'm like, hold on. Because Yasha'Allah is something else. Yasha'Allah is crafty, and that's not a bad thing. Our father Yaakov, our father Jacob, etc. And sometimes you'll see something, it doesn't mean it's bad. It just is there for you to get your attention. All right, so let's look at this real quick. So my first thought was, you serious? And then I said, camp. Excellent. That's a nation. Not the same. Hold up. I said, hold on, wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. You're not about to womb wabble wiggy wabble this conversation with me. I said, hold on. You said give me book chapter verse where it says join the camp under a general or a bishop. What? All right, let's get it. First of all, if you are of the bloodline of Yaladim of Yasharallah, you are a part of a camp. Let's get it. Let's play. I like to play with words. Word play. Camp, KJV, Blue Letter Bible. Just bear with me. I am not as smart as a lot of you Israelites. I did not have the opportunity to get a GED. All right, some of you got a GED, and I didn't get a GED. All right. I just want to see if I'll play around with this, what'll happen. All right. Numbers spoken to the camp. All right, let's do Numbers chapter 2. Is that where it's taking us? All right, Numbers chapter 2, verse 1. We should be able to see this. Waya'amar al Masha wa Aharan the Barium al Kal Alium Wayaladim Yasha'ala. I have to learn how to say this. Shall pitch by his own standard with the ensign of their father's house, far off about the tabernacle of the congregation shall they pitch. On the east side toward the rising of the sun shall they of the standard of the camp of Judah pitch throughout their armies. Yes, I absolutely am going to hammer that home. Whenever you get ready, unmute the phone. Come on in with it. And the reason being is because there was a time frame where the terminology of camp was not used as a negative context. Now, I'm not saying that that's what our brother's doing. But what I am saying, he's proposing a question. What I am saying is that there are those of our nationality who use the word camp as if it's negative because they don't like IUIC, they don't like One West, they don't like GMS, they don't like Sakari, which I personally don't know why anybody would like to call themselves one of these guys. Somebody stabbed him. I don't know. Why would you want to call yourself one of the short daggered backstabbers? That's literally what the Sakari is and was. So it's very important what you call yourself. Whenever you come in, Brew, unmute. I can't see the screen because we just.
Shalom, I'm here. I'm here. Okay. No, I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you. So look, right. let's get this firing, right? I can see by your background that you got a very nice, very large tent. So you live in a tent or a house, I
live in a bayah.
You live in a bayah, right?
Gang.
Okay. When they said camps in the time of the Bible, that's the New English Modern Translation of the word. But at that time period, we were living in tents because we were nomadic people. There was no IUIC, ISUPK, Sakari. There was none of that. There was no Bishop Nathaniel or General Yohanan or High Priest Gorilla Diddy Arab. There's none of them. Right? It was just us, the law, and our God. There's no camps. And definitely, there's no chart. There's no chart. I mean, I love you. Like, look, when I say that these Mexicans are not Hebrews, I'm not disrespecting them. I'm not hating on them. But where was all of this kumbaya energy coming from their end when they owned us as slaves, huh?
Oh.
Where was all of this we Hebrews energy? Right? There was no kumbaya. But now that their nations are falling, their kingdoms are collapsing, now they want to be Hebrews. Now they want to cling on to, they doing worse than clinging on to the arm of the Hebrew. They're actually saying that they're us. It's a sin. No, you're not a Hebrew Israelite. Those who led into captivity shall go into captivity. Your forefathers owned mine, and my four children shall own yours. Period. You don't get to escape the Father's justice. The Father's a righteous God. And I land my plane.
That's excellent, Tawada. Thank you so much. And these are good things to look at. So a few things I want to retouch on. I agree. There was no camp of these names that we know today, but there was the word camp. When we went into slavery on plantations, I was of the camp of the Johnsons, you were of the camp of the Morrows. The word camp has followed us as a nation, which is what the point is. So whenever I look at these specific schools, congregations, Knessets, communities, schisms, and isms, what I look at is a group of people who don't know that they've always been a part of what's a word that's called Machanah. I just want to see if I say it correctly. So real quick, take down that and please help us out with our Hebrew, everybody. So we're going to read, and just as the brother said, we live and settled ourselves in tents, in dwellings, in booths, in houses. Some of them were made out of plaster, so we know that we use plaster along with wood, along with animal skin. So plaster is an ancient form of drywall. It's pretty interesting. So we had tents, booths, houses. Beautiful, right? Gokeple Tempe, something like that. You know, ancient tabernacles. But let's look at this real quick. So we're on the screen share. It says,
hold on. Salakia, go back. Can you do me a favor? You got your sword with you? Can you go to Isaiah chapter 11 through 12 for me, please? Because I'm sitting in my car and I can't go in and out of the app to go to my sword.
Isaiah chapter 11, KJV Blue Letter Bible.
Either or.
Well, if I do it like this, we'll be able to share on the screen and everybody will be able to see and hear what you're saying.
Okay. Can you read it for me?
Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11.
Yeah, through 12.
The restored remnant, and it reads, Isaiah 11:11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the isles of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
Okay, full stop, pause, right? Israel stayed from Hamath all the way to Egypt, to Pathros, and to those islands in the Mediterranean, right? That is the generalized, localized area right there. They're still there, right? My wife is a Bantu, right? So let's end let's crush the chart because I live with a member of the 10 tribes. I'm married to her. Been married for 9 years, right? Full-blown Hebrew woman, came over here knowing her culture. 10 or 12 generations bloodline deep in the land of Ham, never left until she came here. Right now, when it says, he shall gather dispersed of Judah, that means we got sent to the four corners. The 10 tribes did not. Now, this chart runs contrary to actual scripture. And if you say something, but scripture says something different, that means let every man be a liar and let the truth be told. And these camps preach the doctrine that 80% of that chart is Latino, is Hispanic. Who is the biggest contributor to the Catholic Church? The South, Central, the islands, in North America, right? Catholicism. So when you take that bit of information and you isolate it and you set it aside, right? Then you look at all these camps have to register under a 501c tax code. And that tax code is specifically owned by the Catholic Church. And now you got these brothers who want that money, they want them shekels, and then they drop the chart. Do you see where I'm going with this? I land my plane.
All right. All praise Yahweh. So we're going to go back to this page. And as everyone can see, this is the word ma, cha, na. And this last character is the one that people say is the hey, ha. Why is ma, cha, na important? Because before the unpopularity of the name and the phrase camp and the dislike of the people who operated in camps, as we always have, we have to remember that the word machana is what we've always operated as. Well, I remember being in the truth, as people call it, before people spoke negatively against camps. So I remember being in the truth before that. And then I remember the transition. Oh, okay, so we're starting to hate on each other. And I went to this word right here and I was like, well, let's look at this. I found out that there were specific people that were part of the children of Israel who always had a different teaching doctrine or something, but they were always part of the Machana. So the reason why we're going here is because we want to be able to teach the people accuracy on both sides. If you have a respective opinion, then you're free to voice that. But knowing the etymology, knowing the correct meanings, not taking on just my elders' teachings or somebody's opinion, and being able to see for myself is important. So I just want to show the word, what Machana means, and why it's turned into camp. Let's say Machana, Machana. I keep repeating it so people can get familiar. So when somebody says camp, they have to know that they're speaking against Machana, is used as camp 136 times in just the Bible, right? Hebrew context. Machana is used as host, 61, the company of the Israelites, the tents of the Israelites. So when somebody says, do you live in a tent? Oh, absolutely. We live in different types of Banafian, including long houses. We ain't going to get into how the North American Indians did that, including so-called Mexicans, which hung from trees just like the prophecy was there. So we'll talk about that later. But I want to finish the point just dealing with the word camp. Why? Because the brother said, show me anywhere where you have to join a camp. Our point was that you're already part of the Mosque. And when you speak against the word camp, you actually teach our people the negative, because the word condemnation of their own nationality. That was what my point was. So camp is everywhere. Camp is everywhere from Genesis to Revelations. The Most High is going to come down and defend the camp of the Israelites.
No, he is not going to come down and defend it.
Wait, just real quick. I didn't interrupt you on your point. I know because I didn't interrupt you when you went in. And
you're right. You're right. No, you're right. It's all love. I love you. My bad. Salakia.
You yield the floor. Nope. You said you yield the floor, and this is my finishing.
You're right. My bad. I apologize. I'm in your house. Let me show proper respect.
This is why, Yashala, as a nation, we keep the customs of interrupt men not in the midst of their speech, because it's not to check the one or to check the other. It's to check everybody. If you're in a council of men who are all lions, and one of them humbles themselves, which one is the greater? Which one is the greater? The one who still gets the head or the one who humbled themselves and showed everybody else a better example. This is why Yashua is a better society to live by. My finishing point is this right here. It's the only institution to live by. The word camp, Makana, host, company of the Israelites, tent of the Israelites, army of the Israelites, bands of the Israelites, battle of the Israelites, the drove, one time. So it's used in a way that's the positivity of everybody, and it's only become in the early 2000s when Israelites start speaking negatively against camps, just because the majority of them don't like the doctrines, they don't like the people or the things they've done inside of them. I don't agree with all of it, but I have to be careful not to speak against the Most High's anointed branch, even when I'm teaching people. I yield the floor. Camps. So there we go. The camps are everywhere. When I get the revelations, I yield the floor. I can't go on anymore. Dang it, I already yield the floor. All right, I yield the floor. All right.
Okay, so the Most High is going to come back to defend his church, the bride, right? Not IUIC, IUCPK, defend us as a nation. Now, I need to ask you a question. Okay, you can go in the Old Testament, New Testament. You can go to the Apocrypha. Give me book, chapter, verse to where the house of Ephraim owned Judah, Benjamin, and Levi as slaves.
One moment, please. All right. So the way I have to do things is one at a time. All right. So one at a time. Wordplay is very important. Also, I like to play with words, have conversations. So I want to deal with one topic at a time. Before we go to the captivity of the Israelites and who had who in slavery, I want to deal with your post because your post is what got us here. Now, camp, we're still dealing with that. And I smiled because you brought us to the word church and you brought us to the word army. And I'm so glad you took us there because I think that if we do this the right way, somebody could learn something today. I make mistakes, so be patient with me. So your question was to show you where the Bible told us to join a camp under a bishop or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I think this is being answered beautifully. First of all, we're already part of a camp. If you're not an Israelite, you're not a Yashali, you're not a part of the Machanah, you're not a part of the Ecclesia. Here's the screen share we want for everybody to see it. All right. So if you can, here's the screen share. This is what's called Ecclesia. All right, put a 7 in here if you can see that. All right, so Ecclesia is what word? It's the same word for camp. It's the same word for church. It's the same word for, look at this. We're going to read all the way down. I love this. All right. If you don't agree with this, it's fine. But at least, like I said from the beginning, you get to hear and see both sides. Why do we think like this? I can't teach Israelites to think it'll go against other Yasha'alim unless, they come with certain, doctrinal things. All right, cool. But watch this. This is my thoughts. All right. Ecclesia, church assembly, gathering of citizens called out from their homes into one public place, an assembly of people converted to the public place of the council for the purpose of deliberating the assembly of the Israelites. I'm sorry. Whenever I hear somebody speak against ecclesia or camp, these two words are synonymous, and all I got to do is go down and I do. If I do one more word search of ecclesia, it'll go back to the same word of camp and church and army. So what happened was somewhere along the line, Yasha'alim started speaking against each other.
Sorry, Salakia. One second. I'm not trying to cut you off. I want to go get my tablet because I'm sitting in the car so I can get some quiet time.
That's fair. Let's do that.
Yeah, because I gotta go get my storage so we could book chapter verses together and as brothers would be talking about the word of the Father. So give me about 4 minutes and I'll be right back.
All right, we'll start this post over. All praise. All right, so all praise the Most High. Let's go back to this real quick. All right. And our only objective is to show my objective. The brother, he has his own points that he wants to bring out, which I'll speak to my points with his. So when you look at the word, look at this. All right. Where we at? We're in the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 18. And I say unto thee that thou, Peter, thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. The brother also spoke about the Roman Catholic Church, unless I'm incorrect. I could be wrong. The Roman Catholic Church having to do with information. I could be wrong. Maybe I was. But Peter was the first bishop. He was the first pope of the Roman Catholic Church. So, what? Do you know, Yasha'alim, when you are supposed to follow as a nation judges, officers, and elders in all of your cities, throughout all your habitations, throughout all your generations. If I ask any of you who was your elder, you say you ain't got no elder. You mean to tell me you a nomad? Yashua, you ain't got no elder. So if you ain't got no elder, what do you call elder? What do you call him? Oh, that's just my big homie. That's your Zaquan. That's your church. That's your elder. What are you talking about? Just as a nation. All right, let me see this real quick. Um, Lineage of the first century bishops and popes of the first Catholic Church. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this up. I want to tell you, Israelites, be very mindful when you're studying your research for your nationality because it's hidden everywhere. The Roman Catholic Church is one beast, but the Catholic Church, the original Catholicism, was established by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, and he put Peter, Apostle Peter, in charge. The first bishop of the, you know what? Let's just read this real quick. All right. First century of Catholicism. Now, don't think about the Europeans today who run it. The original Catholics are the original Hebrews, the students of Christ, Peter and his students. Peter had a student named Clement. Clement was one of those second bishops. The early, listen, all you have to do is go and look up the history of the early church fathers. The early church fathers were all Negroes. They were all African Americans. When you get to the early century, Clement was one of the first ones that was not an Israelite. He was a European. He was a Gentile. And he was cold with it. All right. Clement of Alexandria. Yeah, Clement of Alexandria. Clement of Rome. I think he was Clement of Rome. I have to go and look at it. His book is called Clementine Homilies. So what do you mean? Where give you book chapter? You know what? Maybe this is one of those questions where somebody says, "Show me in the Bible where you're supposed to wear your left shoe on your right foot." Maybe I can't answer that question, but I can show you some answers. So we have judges. You know what? I'll just say it. I cannot answer the brother's question. I yield the floor. The debate is won. There. Booyah. Finish fight. I yield the floor. So let's go.
Okay. So hold on. 1 second. I'm about to get into my car.
Welcome back.
I'm not going to concede my victory. We've not even really began to talk, and this is how we become brothers. All the stuff you just spoke on took place when we were self-sufficient in our own land. We're not supposed to form a nation, an army, or none of that. Now, that's when I asked for book, chapter, verse. I'm like, okay, give me book, chapter, verse where it says we're supposed to do this stuff while we're in captivity.
All right.
I'm supposed to put general.
Pull up one. Go ahead, bro. I yield. I apologize. My bad. I interrupted. Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm supposed to submit myself to General Yohanan in my land of captivity. I'm supposed to put Nathaniel Bishop word in front of the scriptures in my land of captivity. I'm supposed to pay for Passover. I'm supposed to pay for the high holy feast days. Where is this written?
Man, that's some excellent questions. So just like you said before, none of these men were born, but there were men that were born before them that did better and that did worse than them. But we still, as a nation, followed through whenever we were under our leadership. Some men were soldiers.
No, I understand. Okay.
I'm almost done. Now, these men were not born in this generation. All right. I apologize. You know, you got some great points. You have great points, man, and I'm 1,200% with you. I really am. I haven't seen one verse that tells me that I should put the ways of man over the ways of the Most High. And some of our local schools, community, congregation, camps, you know, they all have, not all, a lot of them, you know, just as we all have went out of the way of the Most High. All right. But that's a national nation. That's the prophetic. If we were all perfect, we wouldn't need Christ. If we were all perfect, we wouldn't need Hamashiach. So we
Right.
gotta let this thing happen and watch. And
can I say something that that led me to a large form of my thought process? Was it was a joke, right? But it was a Christian. You know, the Christians, they always battling and debating with us, right? It was a Christian battling and debating a brother of mine who's from ISUPK. He's a good friend. And the brother said, all you camps and all the 12 tribes of Israel need to submit under Commanding General Yohanan. And the Christian said,
that is ridiculous.
Right. And the Christian said, wait a minute, I thought we were supposed to submit to Christ.
That's right.
Right. So I was like, whoa. Everybody under the comment was like, oh, that Christian socked you in the mouth. He dug you a new one with that one.
Now, absolutely. Now, here's the funny part that I could rock with on that. I don't agree to everybody should submit to the Commanding General Yohanan. I think it's respectfully hilarious. Here's something else. Did you know that I would consider you my elder? Why? Because the scripture says, submit yourselves one ye to another. And that's where the tricky wordplay can come in, to where we can say it like this, but we don't mean it like that. We just want to get you in and show you what I mean. So, you know, one time there was an elder named, there is an elder. I pray Yahweh strengthen him strong. His name is Zaquan Nathan Yalla. And we were street teaching one time. I said, yo, Zaquan, why you giving your attention to that Edomite? You should be talking to our people. And I was young and on fire, whatever, right? Now I'm just old and hot. Like, why is it so hot? So I said, Zaquan, why you giving my attention to Edomite? And he said, sometimes you got to use poop to catch flies. And I kept that mentality, and I've seen a lot of y'all trying to do that. Now, I don't know if that's what ISUPK is saying, but I know it's sure of a shocker. When that Christian said we supposed to be submitting to Christ, that should be the end all be all of the conversation. Maybe ISUPK need to find a new way of presenting their invitations to their camps. All right. So I agree with that 1,200%. All right. When we have the cry aloud, spare not mentality, yo, I mean, we on fire. What can we do, son? Yo, like bring the people, tell them out, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to it's like it's against Christ, it's against the Messiah. Okay, well, now everybody looking at you because you might be committing blasphemy, boy. We ain't with that. You know what I'm saying? A brick shower can come from anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You know, just don't wait in blood. Don't be the avenger of blood, you know. But let me read this real quick. And I just want to read this because this is just one. We got it up on the screen. I'm pretty sure everybody already seen it. And it's not to go against, but it's just to remind everybody. The Most High said, judges and officers shalt thou make thee where in all thy gates. Now in captivity and not, when were we not in captivity? When we were in the wilderness, we weren't in captivity, but we put ourselves in captivity for 40 years. All right, boom. We come out, we go to war, we made agreements. We made agreements with the people of Joshua. As soon as we came out, boom, captivity. We've always had judges, officers, and elders to rule over us. Our responsibility is to not only monitor ourselves, but to monitor them. If General Yohanan doing the same something off, you know how it goes. Most High, he calling people home. Or he raising other, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? But I mean, I don't think we should go against the principle of what a camp is, because I don't like that, or he did that, or he said that. That's teaching our people to go against themselves, and we can do different. That's what I think. I seen it coming. I seen it coming like a drive-by a long time ago. I was like, oh, we about to start using camp as a negative. I had this lined up like, we can play with this. We can play with this camp word all day. I yield the floor. Go ahead, brother, because you got fire too under your belt.
I agree with you, because the camps have done great works, right? They've done great works. But going on the corner and cussing these Edomites out and hating them, that is a sin. That should not hate an Edomite.
Thou shalt not hate an Edomite or abhor Edomite, for he is thy brother.
Bam. That's one sin. Number two, why are you paying for Passover? Why are you paying for the high holy days? Why are you giving money to these people anyway? We built the houses for the Levites. We took care of them. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never officially saw us reconsecrate the tribe of Levi in our captivity.
No, hey, let me answer that. Let me answer that question. How may I please answer that question? May I please shortly?
Bro, we here talking. We're brothers. We family, y'all. We talking. Let's talk.
Watch this, Yasha'Allah. Lawya will not be consecrated till Hamashiach comes back. So if anybody's talking about that they're of this specific bloodline, you don't know what bloodline of Lawya you're from. Now, you may have some lineage. We can't say that. I'm not saying nobody's not. But I will say this, for what I know, what we've seen from the prophecies, it's coming soon. Let me say that right now. It's coming soon. You mean to tell it's coming soon. Like a late freight. He's coming. All right. So Lawya won't be consecrated till Mashiach comes back. I can say so much because now I'm full as the moon. Go ahead, brother. The floor is yours. No, okay, I haven't seen that. No, I haven't seen that, sir. No.
No, okay. So we're gonna go to Genesis chapter 15, verse 13 through 14. I got it. And he said unto Abram, know of certainty that thy seed shall be sojourners in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation who they shall serve will I judge. Afterward they shall come out with great substance. Now, according to that chart, the 10 tribes already came here, right? I live in California. Mexico's about an hour and a half from where I live, right? So those people own the land of Mexico. They own it. It's their country. So you can't say a so-called Mexican when they have their own flag, their own national language, their own standing army, their own Senate, Congress, Supreme Court. They have their own tax code. They have their own they have their own nation, right? They own the land of Mexico. The only way to take that land from them is to go there with an army and physically take it from them. You probably lose because they got many ways of defending themselves over there, and they do it pretty well. Especially the people down there who's part of the real camps that push the illegal substances. They are well armed. So when you bring up this chart, right, and this camp doctrine of that chart, and many of the camp lies and how they present us to the world, is contrary to Scripture, right? And now let's be abs. We got to bring this up on your page, and I have to speak on this. When Gorilla Diddy Arab did what he did, that sin did not just come forth in front of Israel. Because Sakari was a major camp where Christians know about them. So now our nation looks like we totally down with the Diddy stuff. Right?
No.
Bro, I'm telling you how they look at us now. Right? We're caught between the angry Hebrews who just yell at people and show zero love, ISUPK, Sakari the diddlers, and the stuck-up conceited people who look down on you when you talk to them from IUIC. Right? That's how the world sees us. That's not a positive look, because when I go to work, when I clock in and I put these scrubs on, they can't, some of them can't put their finger on what I am, but they know we can't invite him to certain places.
Do you wear your fringes on your scrubs? You wear your fringes on your scrubs?
No, I have to be in proper uniform. But yeah, but what I'm saying is they know that I'm set apart. They know I'm not going to deal with their foolery or their buffoonery, get into their gossip. They know I'm going to tell them the exact truth. They know I'm going to work hard, and they know I'm going to stand on business when it comes to this gospel.
How can you if you don't wear your fringes in front of them?
Bro, I work in the medical field. Can't wear fringes. Okay, but what I do do, yeah, but what I do is I wear my lion. And they know that I'm a Hebrew Israelite. All of my bosses know this. Now, a few of them were afraid of me being a Hebrew Israelite because I'm a big black man, 250 plus. But when they got to know me, brother, this brother's cool. Talk to him about God. Walk up to him and ask him for help. They see the light on me. They don't see the negative ideologies that the camps have brought. They see love. Now, when the Christians ask me, even at work, Christ died for everybody, I said, no, he didn't. Christ came for everybody. No, he didn't. And then they'll tell me, hey, bro, get your Bible. You got it on your tablet. I go get my tablet, and I'll bring up my Bible, and I'll explain to them. And I'll tell them, hey, this is not me saying it. This is the word of the Most High God. Get mad at me if you want. I'm asking you not to because I'm a kind person. But this is what the scriptures say when you claim to be a Christian.
Hey, can I ask you a question? As far as Sakari and Thought. So, I'm going to, real quick, if you can see on the screen here. I don't know if you're on, but if everybody's watching, for those that's watching, and salute to our brother because he's bringing up inspiration. So this is the book of First Maccabees, real quick. All right, so First Maccabees. All right, this is chapter 1, and this is during the time of Alexander, when Alexander passed away. When Alexander passed away, the Macedonian, this is what the Israelites did. All right, it says, in those days there went out, excuse me, First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 11. In those days there went out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. 13. Then certain of them were so froward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Let me say this. Guerrilla Hebrew is a fart in the grand scheme of Yahweh. His sexual lifestyle has nothing to do with the children of Israel. The Goyams, excuse me, please. All right, Thought. You caught me. Got on my jammies. My jammy jams. All right, so all praise Yahweh, petition for safety and blessings for you and your families. All right, so what Guerrilla Hebrew did has no scope in comparison to what we've been doing for centuries. The only reason Negroes think it's an abomination, it's disgusting. It is bliggity blah blah bliggity blah. And it's not only that, you know what I'm saying, is there should be no whores of the daughters of Yasharala, but then you also got the women who participated and who submitted themselves to other men until they got mad. And then
I know.
So
I agree with you.
My only point in saying all that is to say this. What these Gentiles see now is only a reoccurrence of what the children of Israel have been doing. The reality of it is even back in this time, thereupon they built a place of exercise in Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. We made ourselves sodomites and bati boys back with Alexander. So these heathens been looking at us like this. Another thing, if you love me, keep my commandments. All right, breaking the least commandments. So our people shouldn't be participating in these abominations. Guerrilla Hebrew had made a name for himself, and now the name that he made for himself, if we make a name for the Most High, then that would endure forever. His sex, don't let my sex life come. Oh boy, I've been poly for 16 years. All right, so I'm not scrubbing my hard drive. It's only going to make my popularity go up. The point of saying such is to say we should be mindful of how we operate with our wives. We shouldn't be promoting sin. Yahweh will expose us. And Guerrilla Hebrew has nothing to do with the movement of the Most High's chosen people. These heathens are going to cleave on. They're going to
hold on. What I was saying with that, because I totally agree with what you said. Because you and I, this is the most pleasant debate that I've ever been a part of, brother. I will be talking to you often.
There's a debate.
No, no,
Who
I'm just
debate?
saying the conversation. This is one of the most pleasant conversations that I've ever had, right? With a Hebrew I just met. What I'm saying is it's the perception, right? It's the
It's the
perception.
perception. It's the perception. That's excellent.
Right,
And
right.
that's the
It's
whole thing that we've both been saying the whole time. And I come around the
right.
corner a whole bunch of different ways in my conversation, man. You excellent, brother. I yield the floor, brother. You're winning this debate. Dang it, what do I do?
Right. So, but what I'm saying is we as a people, bro, if you're gonna stay in the camp, there should be no dirt that should be able to be brought up on you. Right? Because me and the great brother Lazarus, who did found and started this battle rap inside of our nation. He's the greatest battle rap artist. Let me give him his props. Greatest battle rap artist in our nation. He was telling me from his point of view, man, this guerrilla Arab stuff really made us look bad as a people. And I said what was crazy was if he was following
Within
these
his own
laws, statutes,
household, it ain't making none of my people look bad. We don't get down like that. Come,
yeah,
Red.
no, right. And I said, if he'd have been following these laws, statutes, and commandments, he would have had no dirt to expose. Like now, my dirt probably be, I like food a little too much because I'm a little fluffy now. I used to be
Me
skinny, but
too.
I'm a little fluffy.
I'm eating
Right,
unleavened
that's
bread right now. I yield.
right.
Me too, brother.
That'll be mine if it ever came out to be. You know what I mean? But that's the point. You're supposed to be spotless without a blemish on you. Right? When the world sees you, you should have no dirt on the low to where somebody can blast you. Now, we're going to go back to my original question, right? To my second question, the second foot.
Of the glory of God, brother. All men have sinned and fallen short of the way. Many men says he has sinned, he deceived himself and is a liar, brother.
I don't know if you guys can see this. This is my tablet right here, right? This is about the transatlantic slave trade inside.
Let me bring it up on the screen, brother.
This is the transatlantic slave trade inside of Mexico, right? I asked the greatest question ever that I'm going to continue to ask. Give me book, chapter, verse where Ephraim owned Judah, Benjamin, and Levi as slaves. Kaf Karab thus reads, the transatlantic slave trade in Mexico as part of a larger global trade lasted for roughly 3 centuries, from the early 16th century to the mid-19th century. While the slave trade itself was officially abolished in 1824, slavery as an institution in Mexico persisted until 1829. So now we've just established, right? We've established that the Mexicans owned us, the Negro, as slaves in Mexico.
No, we didn't.
Established that.
No, we didn't.
Right?
No, we didn't. No,
we did. That's what this is. I just hold on. One second.
Let me debate you on that.
Hold on, Salakia. We've established that, right? So the Afro-Mexicans, those are Hebrews. But the Caucasian Mexican is indeed the offspring of Spain. They are not Hebrew Israelites. They are not. But now you got camp people who, if you say that these Hispanics are not Hebrews, they'll cuss you out, call you out of your name, and they'll physically fight you to defend people that own them as a slave. Stockholm syndrome at its best. And I yield.
All right. If we read that again, what that proves is that slavery was in Spain, but it doesn't prove that so-called Mexicans today had African Americans in the slavery. So first of all, slavery in Spain was instituted, but it wasn't the same, the same people that we're seeing today that we're calling so-called the children of Issachar. Now, there are people that will cuss you out because, hey, you say that they're not Israelite. They got a connection to that. Maybe they feel Jewish. Let them fight for it. The point of saying such is to say, Mexico had a law, and let's pull it up. I gotta find it. There was a law that if the Negroes ran from slavery down into Mexico, that the U.S. cavalry couldn't come and receive them because they called us their brothers. the Paleo Hebrew, as we know, has been found in Mexico. Now, I don't have no problem saying that there has been a confusion of faces. But when you have things that the prophecies say would happen to the so-called Mexicans, happen to the so-called Mexicans today, it's kind of hard to get around it. They were hung from trees by droves. They worked in plantations and fields in America and in California, like us, in slavery. Yeah, they were discriminated against just like us. No niggers, dogs, Mexicans. Hold on, wait a minute. What else? You had the California gasoline bath riots, where I don't know how many so-called Mexicans, I believe are from the tribe of Issachar, were set on fire and doused with lice because of who they are. That don't sound like Spaniards treating other Spaniards bad to me. What about the Zoot Suit riots? It's just too many righteous comparisons that show us that the children of Israel went into captivity together with the children of Judah. We both went into captivity together. We both did.
Okay, so you must have two witnesses. You must have two witnesses at all time, right? So let me read.
What would you like witnesses for, brother?
No, this is my second witness. Give me a second. Cough corrupt. Sorry. Most people are very unaware of the presence of African slaves in colonial Mexico. In fact, some people believe that the influence of the African to the Mexican culture is negligible at best, but the African labor actually played an important and very indispensable role in the economic success of colonial Mexico. And in parts of Mexico, the African made cultural contributions. It helps for us to remember that the Spaniards brought slaves to every corner of their American empire, and Mexico is no exception to this fact. One of the most detailed works about slavery in Mexico is noted in the historian Colin A. Palmer, Slaves of the White God, Blacks in Mexico, 1570 to 1650. Right. See, the white Mexican is the offspring of the Spaniard. You look white, talk white, think white, and are extremely racist and extreme amounts of colorism in Mexico. Right? The Afro Mexicans are treated worse than a third-tier citizen. I live next to Mexico. They're extremely racist in SoCal. Extremely racist. That's why when the riots broke out here, we didn't get down. And we were all over social media saying, y'all got this. Y'all stand on y'all own. Y'all don't like us. Right, because they're extremely racist to us out here, bruh. Extremely. But that was my second witness. Now, we're going to go back to my original question. I'm going to ask anybody in the audience and my brother, please give me book, chapter, verse only to where Ephraim owned Judah, Benjamin, and Levi as slaves. I land my plane.
Okay, thanks. I'll look into it. All right, so colonial Mexico was also known as New Spain, which refers to the period where the Spanish conquests. All right, so no, the narrative can't be laid to claim just that Mexicans it was just the Mexicans own niggas in slavery. That's not what it was. The Roman Catholic Church, the Europeans, the Spaniards, the Europeans from Spain, who enslaved the Negroes, the Tainos, the Arawak, all right, the so-called Mexicans today, which are called the tribe of Issachar, and sold them. They sold them into slavery. So it wasn't just Mexicans had niggas into slavery. That's not it. So in SoCal, I'm sorry, but what that's proof is that you are the children of Israel. The Most High said that his eye shall be evil towards his neighbor. You forgot about that prophecy? His eye shall be evil towards his neighbor. So the Most High said they shall fall upon one another as if they fell upon a sword. I don't have an issue with, you know what I'm saying, not every single Negro is a Hebrew, because some of these Negroes is Hamites. I don't have a problem saying not every single so-called Hispanic is a Spaniard, because some of them do find out, well, dang, my granddad was white. And if some of them find out, nah, look, boom, we go 3 generations back and we get darker. And I'm hella light-skinned. So I think it's bogus to say that, because what it does is when you say one is discouraging by using profanity, Another one is discouraging by saying you ain't a part of us because you're not my skin tone. And the Most High said that Ephraim is a loaf, not term. The Most High said there'd be a confusion of faces. So we have the time frame. Let me finish. We have the time frame what's called colonial, and that's where that brother was reading from. But don't forget, I haven't brought out my sources, but I brought out a few points. Paleo Hebrew is found in so-called Mexico. Now,
okay, so you ready? I'm gonna address that right now.
I didn't get to yield the floor yet.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No worries. But I'll make it brief. 2, 3, and 4. The so-called Mexicans, even of late time, went through the same curses of the Negroes from the tribe of Judah.
When?
I yield the floor.
When?
Which one you want to visit? Which one? Which curse would you like to visit?
Okay, my third witness.
You want to see him hang?
Hold on. This is my third witness out of their own words. European ancestry. Google it regarding the Mexicans. Genetic studies indicate that the average Mexican has a significant amount of European ancestry, which is largely attributed to Spanish colonization. They're the offspring of the Spaniards. Now, to everybody listening, please go through the book of Deuteronomy and ask yourselves what people on this planet went through, every last one of those, but the people that came over on the transatlantic slave trade, you're black man. Because where I live, the cops, lawyers, judges, doctors, laborers, racist ass Hispanics, all of them people that hate you for your skin color and hate you because you are the child of God. You're the child. Hold on. You're the child of the Most High God. They hate you because you are a Negro. They hate you in SoCal. And the only reason why they're kinder and more docile in the other parts of America is because they don't outnumber you. Now, my wife is home, and me and his brother, we will continue this conversation.
Man, I was trying to give you the floor, brother.
No, I gotta go because when I clicked off, that was my girl telling me, hey, I gotta come home. I love you, brother, and thank you for bringing me up. This was a dope dialogue, and please have me up again. I'm gonna have time. I'm gonna have time Tuesday. So if you did me again Tuesday, we'll pick up right where we left off, and we'll go again. Thank you for having me up, brother. It was an honor speaking to you. And I want to say shalom, all praise unto the Most High, to your whole congregation and every viewer and listener, and to the Hispanic community. You're not a Hebrew Israelite, but you can be grafted in. You can be a member of the wild branch. And as long as you follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, you are my brother. And I love y'all too, but not the ones of y'all that are racist. I love y'all. One love and shalom.
All right, shalom, peace and blessings, brother. Throw out a good time. Come on, shalom, Benatia. Never mind. All right, yes, absolutely. So while I like to say that was a wonderful time, I do not share the views of our brother. He just has the liberty to be able to speak as such. But I do look forward to hearing you all's points and saying my views also. Salute to the 12 tribes of Yashar, including the so-called Hispanics, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and those that were sold into captivity throughout the North, South, Central America. All right, so return to your culture, your heritage, your nationality, fear Yah, keep His commandments. Shabbat shalom, everybody.